What's going on, guys? Today I want to talk to you about what are all of the things that I skipped in Anime War episode 13. Obviously, I had to rush through to the end. As I explained in my update videos, I knew that there was a very good chance of it getting taken down, and I wasn't going to invest like 2 more years into this final episode for it to just be taken down after 8 hours. Which it did. And as you guys know, I had been rushing through to the series, trying to get to the end. That's why I skipped episode 8. And even with all that rushing, the episode was still like 33 total minutes of animated footage. So it was really long. And honestly, I think if I would have included all this stuff, it probably would have been pretty close to an hour. But long story short, I'm glad I didn't, but let's go ahead and at least just explain to you what I skipped. Starting with, first obviously is going to be the narration. As you guys saw, I had some big chunks of the episode narrated by the voice actor Clayvon Thomas, who was amazing, by the way. He did such a great job, and I think it actually turned out pretty well. All that stuff wasn't supposed to be originally voiced over. It was supposed to just be, you know, animated. The characters would be talking to each other and figuring this out as they go. That whole plan section, which I have been talking about a lot in the update videos, was basically like half animated, half voiced over. But it was supposed to be a huge communication between all of the characters kind of in a circle. I had some really cool concepts for how I was going to storyboard that, with all of the characters talking and developing this plan together. But ultimately, the narration going over it really just saved me like months of work, and I think it actually turned out pretty well. So that's number one. Number two, and I'm so upset that I missed this because I wanted to include it in the finale, and I literally just forgot because I was so delirious by the end. And I actually remembered the day I uploaded it. If you guys saw the premiere for the final episode, there was like hundreds of people waiting just in the lobby, like waiting for the episode to actually come online. And I remembered right at that point, I was like, oh my God, I forgot this. And what it was when Gogeta fused and the screen zoomed in on his face, the screen goes black. And what was supposed to happen was there was supposed to be this internal struggle of Goku, Vegeta, and Saitama all inside this darkness, like, oh wow, like we're Gogeta now. And what was going to happen was Saitama was going to freak out with excitement because he finally had hair. And it was supposed to be this very funny moment. Vegeta was going to donk him on the head and say, cut that out. This is really important right now. Start the Genki Dama. So yeah, that was number 2. Saitama was supposed to realize that he finally had hair, and it was supposed to be a very funny, epic moment. I accidentally took that out. I don't think it would have actually even been that hard to animate and put in there, but I already had the video uploaded and people were waiting, and I didn't want to take it down and wait another day, so I just said forget it. Number 3 is the Divine Spark. So I talked about this in the final update video. As Zeno was getting his butt kicked by Archon and he was running out of energy, he was going to try his ultimate attack, which is the Divine Spark, which was supposed to be basically the energy that he used to create the multiverse. He was going to use that same energy. It was going to be his trump card, his final attack, and make it a destructive attack. And even Archon was going to say, I even had the voice clip for him, that as Zeno is charging up this ability, Archon would say, "Oh, Beigaku." So Archon would know exactly what this attack is. He was going to know that it's coming, and he's going to let Zeno charge up this attack and use it on him. Now, this blast was supposed to be just like crazy spectacular with all sorts of colorful effects and all this stuff. It was going to nuke Archon, and basically everybody was going to think that Archon was destroyed. This attack was so powerful that it was supposed to tear open a rift in space-time, like in the universe. So basically, like, I had this idea for a concept that this blast was so powerful that after Zeno shoots it, the sky from then on would just have this tear. And basically inside the tear, you would see, like, you remember from Dragon Ball Super episode 67, after Zeno erases the universe, he's just kind of floating and swimming in that like particle glowy type of stuff. Like, they never really explained what that was, but you could expect that that would be like what is outside of the universe, I guess. And so that's kind of what I wanted to have in this ripple in the sky after Zeno used his attack. And the rest of the episode was always going to have that ripple in the sky. Like, he tore open the universe. The attack was so powerful. So number 4 on the things that I skipped was after he shot that blast, everybody thought that he defeated him. Zeno collapses to his knees in exhaustion, and there is Archon, who comes out of the smoke. He has his hand out like he took the whole energy blast, kind of like episode 5. He just powers up like crazy. So he was ready for this. He was prepared for it. He siphoned all the energy from it, and Unfortunately, that attack didn't kill him, and then he was supposed to have this just crazy power-up after that and just be like monstrously strong. And after that, we actually go into number 5, which is the Great Beatdown. So there was supposed to be a good 3 minutes or so of Archon just beating the living crap out of Zeno, and all that was supposed to be going on during the plan with all of the anime characters. Now, if you remember from the trailer that I put out at the very end, after Archon created that giant death ball, which everybody really liked, he threw it and Zeno was standing there getting ready to take it on. So I cut that part out. I had an idea for that. Basically, he was going to shoot this blast at the death ball. It was going to be a little bit of a beam struggle. Eventually, Zeno would infuse even more energy. It would shatter that death ball, and basically there'd be explosions like blowing up chunks of the planet everywhere, blowing people away, and the fight was pretty much just going to continue from there. But that was a lot of complicated things to animate. Eventually, I just skipped it so I can move forward with the episode. Which leads me into number 7, which is the worldwide destruction. So during all this battle, what I wanted to have going on was people getting blown away a lot more. I had one scene in there where you saw Gohan, Piccolo, Soren, and Trunks getting blown away. I had another scene where Saitama was running away from one of these giant explosions going off. But ideally, I wanted to have a lot more of those kinds of scenes as the onlookers were just getting blown away left and right, chunks of the planet were exploding, and I wanted to have it seem much more like a cataclysmic battle. The Earth should have had way more chunks of it blown off. And the reason I really wanted to sell that is because Luffy's bounce world was supposed to help prevent that. The way I had it in the final episode, it didn't really sell it as much because you didn't have all those explosions going off and people getting blown away. So the bounce world from Luffy was actually supposed to be protecting them from getting blown away like that. And Bounce World was also supposed to have some other cool abilities. I actually wanted to use it in episode 8 as he was fighting against Boros. Like, he could have all these arms and punches like come out of anywhere out of the landscape. He could basically teleport because he could like melt into the ground and like come out somewhere else because it's just like all rubber. It's like all part of his body basically. And that was supposed to be like his real ultimate move. I never really got to work on that. So one part I skipped was I had this little dialogue between Vegeta and Saitama, and Saitama ends up crushing Vegeta's hand a little bit because he was pissed off that Vegeta called Genos trash, and he's like, oh, now you want our help even though you call us trash? I had the narrator just simply say, oh, Beerus and Goku convince Saitama to fuse for Genos' sake, but I was thinking I could have had a really funny moment right there where somebody convinces Saitama to fuse because then there's a chance that he'll have hair. And Saitama was supposed to be like, I'm in! So keeping up with the comedy aspect, during that plan, number 9 was supposed to be that Naruto was gonna... So as they're coming up with the plan, and Naruto says, Sasuke, I'll infuse you with chakra, that way you can open more portals. Everybody agrees on the plan, they're ready to go, and then Naruto says, alright Sasuke, I'm gonna pump you so full of chakra, you're gonna explode. And everyone was just gonna be like, bro, that sounds dirty. Number 10, during the scene where all of the anime heroes were raising their arms, lending their energy to the multiversal infinite spirit bomb, I was supposed to have way more anime characters in that. It was all supposed to be fully animated of all of the characters from all these different anime universes, all the ones that you guys wished at some point could come into Anime War were all supposed to be in there and raising their arms, going to their full transformations, giving 100% and lending their energy. So I cut out a ton of characters that I wish I would have put in. I wanted to originally in the script, but I faced a major issue, and that was, as you guys know, I use a lot of Two Steps from Hell music. I have a license through my network in order to use their music, and something weird has been going on in the background. Like, Sony bought the rights for Two Steps from Hell, and then like my network's like trying to get, I'm not 100% sure like what the deal is, but basically like whenever I was using Two Steps from Hell music, it was getting claimed by some ad rev for a third party. So I had all these Two Steps from Hell tracks planned for months, which to use at the exact moments that it would be like the most epic, amazing moment for Anime War 13, which is why you may have realized that I changed a lot of the music in some of the scenes, like Omni Gogeta or Goku breaking his final form. You know, I changed the music in there. I had to replace the Two Steps from Hell music, otherwise the video would just get claimed. So for the part where all of the anime characters are raising their arms, I had the perfect track. and that was 2 Steps from Hell, Never Give Up on Your Dreams. I'll put a link to it down in the description box if you guys want to listen to that. It's a very long song. It's beautiful. It has like the hope and the energy of millions behind it. Like you could feel it. So I want you to just listen to that song and just imagine every anime character in existence going their 100% power and raising their arms to lend their energy. And you'll see the vision that I had in my head of how beautiful that scene could have been. I still think it turned out pretty well given the constraints, but it definitely was not what it was supposed to be. Speaking of which, you saw that I had Yugi and Kaiba there in one scene. What I wanted them to do was Yugi would bust out the Dark Magician. It would show Yugi and Dark Magician raising their arms, lending their energy, and then Kaiba would summon the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Kaiba would raise his arms, and then you'd see Blue Eyes with a little T-Rex arms like, "Arr!" And he'd be looking at Kaiba like, and Kaiba would be like, ah. A lot of funny little scenes and quirks that I missed in the final episode. Obviously, again, I had to rush through things. The next one, number 12, is Ultra Instinct Gogeta. So as I explained in a bunch of previous videos and update videos, I had done the work for Omni Gogeta actually way before even episode 12 was released. I started with that and then realized, oh, I have so much work to do before I can get to this Omni Gogeta part, so I'm going to save that for the final episode. And as I had been explaining in my update videos, that part wasn't sold well enough. I wanted to have more action, at least some more cool, unique stuff go on. Those like super unique, like Ultra Instinct scenes and stuff take forever. So, I mean, if I had the time and it wasn't gonna get taken down, I probably would have spent another month making that Omni Gogeta versus Archon scene way, way better. And what I wanted to do is there's this one part where Archon charges in after he first gets hit by Omni Gogeta. He charges in, flies in at Omni Gogeta. And what I had was just Omni Gogeta just like uppercutted him. But what I wanted to do was he punches and Omni Gogeta was supposed to dodge like in super slow motion and then open his eyes and he was going to have Ultra Instinct eyes. And that was supposed to be like a, oh, moment like from the fans when you watch the reaction videos and they go crazy. And then he was going to do something like nutty, just like appear behind Archon, and then Archon was going to like get hit a million times and fly into some rocks or something. But that would just take forever to animate. So, you know, again, given the constraints, I just put in what I had. I really wanted to spice that up and sell it more. At the end of the day, I just had to get the video out, guys, because I mean, we knew this was going to happen. Okay, so the 13th and final thing was that the very ending, the closing scene, as the characters are saying their goodbyes, as you saw there, that Whis actually showed back up. And what I was originally going to plan to do was Goku was going to explain and talk to the other characters, not narration, and say that we'll use the Super Dragon Balls to bring everybody back and restore all the damage that Archon has done. And Zeno was supposed to say that he wouldn't be able to bring back Whis. I was going to have this like little snippet in there where angels can't be brought back by Dragon Balls and they can't be recreated. And so everybody was going to be really down and feel gloom and everything like that. And that's when Whis would put his hand on Goku's shoulder and be like, hey, good job. And Trunks would say, I brought the Whis from my future to come and stay with you guys, to kind of replace him. So that's basically it, guys. That's 13 elements of the final episode that I skipped. Obviously, I had this just dream and this imagination for the final episode to be, it should have been way better than it even was. But I think it was actually still really good. I mean, the reaction from fans, the comments I'm getting, the donations, which thank you guys so much for your donations, your support, your emails, everything like that. Thank you guys, has just been overwhelmingly positive, and I just like really am so happy that we all together were able to finish this thing and finally put it to rest. So people have been asking me, like, are you going to make a video responding to it get taken down and stuff? Honestly, guys, no, it's a dead horse at this point. You know, what's done is done. I'm not upset at Toei or anything. I completely understand their decision, and I'm fine with it because, as you guys know, I've been trying to get away from Anime War for a very long time, but I was kind of in between a rock and a hard place with keeping the fans happy and also not trying to anger a company that I respect. So I'm just happy it's all over. I'm happy you guys got to see a version of the ending that was at least satisfactory, and now we can move on to bigger and better things. So thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video.